What's up, guys? How y'all doing out there? We are the Hardys. We are back tonight, and we just wanted to talk about teamwork in marriage. So the days and your nights, everything goes smooth, and nobody is feeling, overwhelmed or overworked. So we just want to talk about some of the stereotypes and kind of debunk some of those, and how this new generation needs to kind of work together to have a successful marriage. Not only just a marriage, but if you have children involved as well, that adds another, dynamic to it. So we just want to, talk about a few things and go over some of the stereotypes and, talk about this, for real, this 21st century relationships, especially when it comes to the woman. A lot of women are doing great things now. A lot of women are entrepreneurs, and women are working 8-hour, 10-hour jobs, just like the man is, sometimes even longer, so I think some of the old stereotypes of, the woman is supposed to cook, she does all the cleaning, she does everything with the baby, some of those stereotypes, gotta go out the window.
Bye.
Especially if she's leaving out the house with you, a lot of times before you, and coming back at the same time or coming back after you, you got to work together. So fellas, if you're getting home, early, it's nothing wrong with tidying up the house if that's what needs to be done. There's nothing wrong with starting dinner, cooking dinner, whatever it may be. If you're getting home, or even if you get home the same time, let's work together as a team, identify who's going to do what. It may be you washing dishes and her cooking, or vice versa. Maybe you giving the baby a bath and she's cooking, vice versa. So I think it's really important, not to really establish roles, but just to work together to see what works, for your household. Don't let anybody get in your ear. Don't let anybody kind of say, hey man, you washing clothes, you cooking dinner. They like, dang, she wearing the pants.
Exactly.
Nah, you trying to stay married and you trying to stay happy, so
Right.
so you got to work together, whatever that may look like. You may have to cook 70% of the time, in order to keep things going. Or I know a lot of my fellas, we pick up the child after work. Like for me, for instance, I drop and pick up, my daughter, every day. And even still, I get home, usually an hour before my wife, so I pick my daughter up, drop her off, and when I get home, a lot of the time, I'll start dinner, or sometimes, I cook dinner. I don't sit back and say, hey, I picked her up, I'm kicking up my feet, you can come home and do dinner or whatever. Nah, sometimes, man, you got to do what you got to do. If that's picking up the child, that's cooking dinner, just whatever it takes. And, I know I'm just going off on the fellas, but, this is something that we got to talk about.
Please take notes, listen, talk about it, because everybody's situation looks different. Okay, so what works for us may not work for you. You have to figure out with your wife, with your spouse, whoever, figure out how does that work? What does that look like for you guys? How does helping each other out, whether it's in the morning, noon, afternoon, whatever, like how can you guys work together to make sure you guys have a smooth day and not all the pressure or weight is on one person? So gotta figure that out. So I would definitely say making sure that you guys support each other, regardless of what other personal things each other want to do. So it's going to be times where you may want to hang out with your friends. It's going to be times where you may have to stay late for work, or you have an extra event you need to go to, or time you may just need time to yourself, but making sure that you coordinate, talk to each other, communicate ahead of time. And sometimes things do pop up last minute, but making sure that you be clear with the details, give information, and make arrangements together. Don't just make your plans and be like, oh yeah, that's what I'm doing. You never know if your spouse is like, oh, I actually wanted to you know, make dinner with you and watch a movie, you know, spend quality time. So just making sure that you guys talk about whatever it is that's going on within your day, what you plan to do for the weekend. I know a lot of times, sometimes before he may necessarily make plans, he'll say, hey babe, you got something to do on Saturday? I'm like, no. Like, did I tell you I got something? No, we ain't got nothing to do, boy, what we doing? But one thing I can definitely appreciate is that he always asks. He doesn't assume. And he plans for us. Like, he thinks about what can we do together. It's not always about what can I do with the fellas, what can I do by myself. Like, he genuinely loves spending time with me, and I do the same. So that makes a big difference as well. It makes it easier to work together. It makes it easier to be the team. You have to like first the person that you're with and enjoying being with that person and want to spend time with that person. So it makes so many other things so much easier, because you're thinking about what can I do to make sure that I can spend more time with him. Like, so with him helping out like he does and being supportive and me doing the same, we make sure that we still have time. So typically with us having an almost 2-year-old, a toddler at this point, like he said, he drops her off, he picks her up, and most of the time, not most of the time, basically every time, unless, you know, he has something to do after work, he gets home before I do. So either he'll start, prep, something, he'll do something in preparation, and then I'll get home and we'll pretty much change where I'll be like, babe, well, I know it may be kind of late, so can you do this? And I'll do X, Y, Z. We'll talk about it. Sometimes we talk about it at work, like, hey, what's for dinner, what we gonna do, to strategize. And we're like, hey, I really want to spend time. So what we do is, first of all, we set a schedule for our daughter. She goes to bed at 9 p.m. every night. So we have an hour. Of course, we could technically have longer, but I'm not gonna lie, I like to get my sleep. So 10 o'clock is my bedtime. And sometimes, of course, I may stay up longer than that, but between 9 and 10 is a definite, like, we're gonna have our time. We're gonna watch our favorite show. We're gonna eat our dessert. We're gonna have our time where we can just kind of decompress, talk to each other, even though we talk throughout the day, but it's nothing like talking face to face, you know, having that pillow talk time.
So it's just about, you know, that, you know, sacrifice and compromise. You know, because nothing lasts forever. You know what I mean by, you know, you have your weekday schedule, you know, you have your weekend schedule, where you kind of unwind and, you know, just appreciate each other. And I think that's a big thing, you know, in marriage, relationships, period. You know, just having endurance,
right.
You know, not letting life or work or whatever you got going on, you know, get the best of you. And just knowing that this is what you signed up for.
Exactly.
You know, with understanding that this is what comes with it. You know, it's going to be long days, it's going to be hard days. You know, that just comes with it. You know, you got to be tough, you got to suck it up, and you got to have endurance. And we make plans, you know, make plans to release, you know,
right.
and have fun, you know, with your spouse. You know, and it gives you something to look forward to. And it makes all the, you know, the hard work worth it. You know, just like in sports, you know, you're working hard, summer camp, two-a-days, because you know, you're getting in shape and you're trying to get that starting position. And once you're in shape and once you get that starting position and you're out there playing, it makes it all worth it. You know, let alone you go to the championship or the Super Bowl or whatever it may be, it makes all of it worth it. You know, so you take the same attitude, you know, in your marriage, you know, in life. You know, you're working hard because you know, hey, the weekend is coming. You know, we got a Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, and you know, we're gonna enjoy ourselves. Well, we got a trip coming, you know, so you know, you just work hard, you know, you sacrifice, you know, you compromise, and you endure, you know, with the goal in mind, with the plan in mind, and you know, you just enjoy life. And, you know, it's not all bad, you know, it's actually pretty good. You know, I'm spending time with my daughter, so it's not like it's a burden. Oh, I'm picking her up. Oh, I'm dropping her off. Oh. You know, I love my daughter, I love my family, so that's, you know, that's not a big deal at all. You know, this is fun work. This is easy work.
Any relationship, it can be tough, it can be challenging, it's finances. And learning naturally when you come into a marriage, learning that it's one, it's ours, it's not no longer just mine and just yours. So that's definitely a whole nother type of teamwork and working together and making sure that you guys communicate on how you guys financially sustain everything. So whether it's your bills, whether it's daycare, whatever it is, making sure that you guys communicate, you know each other's Work through what are you bringing in, what are you bringing in, know how altogether every single bill, how does that work out, and keeping in mind that it's not just yours anymore. If you're married, have the mindset that it's now a us, a we. Even if you have different accounts, you still have to take into account, yes, technically I just got paid because I work at this particular place, but if other things need to be paid for, and if you have the money, it's not just yours. You know, think about, okay, babe, you need extra for this, got you. Okay, babe, you gonna wear it? Oh, okay, I'm gonna send you some bucks. Like, be open to share everything. You should have that type of relationship where you're open, you're willing, you want to give, and not feel like, oh, I gotta give this person some money again, because keeping in mind that you guys both share that. It's not just that person, it's not just that. So if you need something extra, that person should have that. Like, you want to make sure that your partner feel that regardless of what's going on, that you got them, that you got their back, you're going to be able to provide for them, whether it's the male or the female. And that's another stereotype, you know, naturally as women, that, oh, the man is supposed to take care of everything. Oh, I'm not splitting bills. I've heard all types of things, and like I said before, it depends on your relationship. It depends on your agreement. Every marriage has their own agreements when it comes to finances, how they raise their children, how they run their household.
Yep. Don't be scared to say, hey, I'm negative, whatever. I need a couple dollars.
If you're with a person and you feel like you can't talk about those things, or you're scared, that's a sign, honey, or sir. Run, okay? Because you never want to feel that type of way at all.
Well, guys, that's all we got for you tonight. Please like,
share, thumbs up,
comment. Let us know if you got any questions or any other topics or areas you would like for us to cover. And we'll see you guys later.
Bye. Have a good night. Well, I don't know if it's night when you watch this. See you later.
Could be in Cali. About 6 something there.